set covers your unboxing. So I got 2 sets here to unbox, and this is the diecast metals diecast, right? So this is Harlequin and Joker.
Yeah.
Now, with these ones, I have a problem with these ones because they don't settle like they, oops, wrong way. The box you can't open from the top because it's small on top. So let me just see. So the problem with these is when you set them up, they come, with the background of this in the box. When you set them up, they're fine, but you can easily knock them off. So let me,
Yeah.
Because they're heavy and they have the top heavy stuff here. So, they wobble a bit, right? You can see that? If I move it. So it's annoying because of that. And the other thing is, none of these things move, right?
Oh.
Right? So the gun is rubber. So you can't even remove the gun out of the hand, right? You got all these attachment figures and stuff, but none of them, like the only thing that moves is the legs, right? So you can wobble, the hips. But that's it. So you can't move the arms or legs, and you can't move the gun, but you can have them look left or right slightly,
All right.
kind of like a bobblehead. But there you go. So it's top heavy because of metal's up the top. So they haven't made anything more solid weighted at the bottom, so it stays still. So I don't think a lot of people would have bought these things because of that. After buying one, they would have said, "Oh, it's not working." So I was actually able to buy these on special. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought it because they're not. It's not something that I buy for the sake of buying something, but they do look good, right? As a figure, they look good. But you look at this one, right? This is a bit more solid. This is Harlequin. She looks beautiful in gold and silver. It's
right.
It's really well done up. So her hips moves a bit more than the other one. Now, the other thing. So this is rubber, right? What is it? Rubber? What would you call it? Maybe vinyl, but it kind of feels like rubber. So, gun again is rubber, but the rest is metal, right? So you could add, these are joints. So you could have actually they could have designed it the way it rolls up and down and something. Even the gun, hand would go up, but as you can see, they don't. They're top weighted, top heavy, and so they fall down. Just the slightest touch, they start wobbling.
Right.
So, but these are made to be display stuff. They're supposed to that's all they're supposed to do, right? To be displayed.
Right.
You can't do anything with them.
But of course, you can't display them because they're top heavy and they just keep falling down.
Yeah, and that's kind of annoying. And I think this is kind of it's not something you want to
No,
you can do much with.
No, it takes the joy out of it a little bit. You expect to just be able to just set it up and be done with it.
Yeah.
One of the things we do in the G.I. Joe community, because all of our figures are hard to set up because they're all small. They're all, it takes a little bit of balance to do it. We'll take a little bit of that poster sticky tack.
Right.
We'll put it on the feet.
Yeah. That's what I got to do for a lot of my figures that are small.
Yeah.
And so
our double-sided tape,
Yeah, and it defeats the purpose of actually displaying it because that's why I keep it in the box, right? Because there's no point, doing that. But finishing here, right? What I want to, did we do a show last week about all the figures I got with no heads? I can't remember. It was
you showed us a bunch of figures with no heads.
Right. So this week, yesterday actually, I got delivery yesterday with a package of heads from my friend Carlos, right? All these different heads.
Oh wow!
And probably about 30 of them. So I got,
pull them up. Let's see them.
Yeah. So you got all these different heads, right?
Yeah.
So I'll show you, and they're all, we opened this one up last week, remember? And I just got sent this head as part of it. So this is the head off that character, female Loki. So
Yeah.
you've got this. You've got the cuckoos from Marvel Legends. You know, all these
Yeah.
interesting heads, and there's a couple male ones. So what I did, I put this one on Han Solo, right? So now I have a new character made up. What do
Yeah.
you think? It works, right? Because the skin tone's pretty
Yeah,
much
that's
the
pretty
same.
cool. Yeah.
So I'm keeping that one. So the deal here is that whatever I don't use, I send it back to him. The other deal we have is that you know, that he'll be getting pieces that he wants out of my, you know, swapsies, or keep, you know, I'll just give him the pieces I want. So he said, oh,
Right.
I said, I'll give you Psylocke. He said, what? I thought you were going to keep them for my X-Men. I said, no, I've had a Psylocke for about over 20 years. So you get to have a Psylocke, right? And then also wrestling figure, he wants to make a this character here, She-Hulk,
Right.
version of She-Hulk. He's going to do a custom painted up She-Hulk, right?
Nice.
Because he's a customizer. So I get to keep this one, but I'll get to send him that. Now, last night we had a live stream with Comics and Rumblings for about 3 hours with a couple of mates. Where, you know, just New Zealand, because it was, you know, middle of the night for you guys, but it was like about 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock for us here. So this figure is supposed to, I think it's supposed to have this head. Now, I'm going to customize this as one of my Zoolandia characters.
Oh wow.
So one of my characters, main character, is a high school girl.
Okay.
So I don't know what I was going to make her look like, but now I'm going to give her glasses and brown hair. This is what she's going to look like in real and as a character now. I'm just going to change the color of this everything, you know, like her skirt and stuff, and you know, her jacket's going to like be painted different color. I'm going to ask my friend to do that for me, right? I'm going to go, hey, look, you know, Carlos, can you customize this according to this color? And now this character will be the lead character in my comic book for Zealandia. And so, you know, changing the head around inspired me to say, well, why don't I just use a character like this? And then whenever somebody goes, how do I make your character? I go, this one and this body painted this way. So you don't have to go out and, you know, we don't have, you know, maybe eventually we'll probably make one when we put the board game out, but in years to come. But, you know, I get to see what my character's going to look like, you know, as a toy, all painted up. So, you know, I thought that was pretty cool. But like here, check this out. This is all the heads, if you can see it, right?
Wow.
Other heads as well. So you got like this one. Do you remember who that is?
Omega Red.
There you go. And then I got this. I don't know who this is from, right? So this is some other thing. And then also I got this strange little thing as well.
That's cool. That's probably from a Predator figure.
That'd be about right. Yeah, you're right. So what about this?
That's from a Marvel Legend. Or not a Marvel Legend. That's from a Star Wars Black Series. It's one of the androids.
Right. Look at this. I got to figure out where to use Joker as, you know. But not only that, I got this, and he fits on a couple of them, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
And you got Hercules.
Nice.
And who do you think this is?
Blow your screen up?
Yeah, it's not focusing. Hold on, I'll blow my screen up. You're right.
Yeah.
So it's not letting me do. All right, so.
Whoa.
Focus. Yeah.
Put your hand behind it.
There we go. Good call. So.
Bring your hand up just a little bit more so it's right behind the head.
All right. So do you think this is William Dafoe?
It looks like Willem Dafoe, yeah.
Yeah, from Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, it looks like a Green Goblin.
Yeah. So without his mask. So the other thing I've got here is a whole bunch of Cerebro helmets, right? But I've got nothing I can put them on. So I'm going to have to like sneak out some other characters here. Oh, I've got, you know,
oh, wow, that looks, I don't know who that is.
Yeah. it's not what's his name. It's not Professor X, but this is what I
No.
mean. So
Yeah.
I've got all these Cerebro helmets, and there's about 4 of them, no, 3 of them he's got here, and I'm so I saw those, I was so excited. So we've got to make a red. We've got that one. Who do you think that is?
That looks like That looks like McFarlane DC figure. It looks like a the cards the Full House gang, one of the Full House.
From his like Spawn series, are you thinking?
No. Remember that they had the villains that were like card oriented. They had an Ace of Spades,
Oh,
Queen
right.
of Spades, Diamond. I think it was the Full House gang or something like that. I can't remember what they were called.
Yep. All right. So we got this one. Who do you think this was?
Looks like it's not Thor. It's Black Knight.
Oh, okay. Cool. Now I got a Black Knight, and of course Legion.
That's
I
Legion.
wanted this on something. I
That's
seriously
Legion.
want this on something. So I got to make sure I got to find it because I like Legion.
Yeah.
I used to own all the character, all the comics he appeared on, but that's
Right.
been lost in the fire. So that's that. So here's a couple others from Marvels, and then we'll finish off on showing off these. So.
Oh, nice. Okay, you got Shatterstar. You got Shatterstar. And you got a is that Boomerang? Not Boomerang, but the.
So this is Longshot.
Longshot. Yeah. Sorry.
So Longshot. I got him on the other one. What do you think that is?
That is I have him.
Is that Flash?
No, it's Thunderbolt or something like that. Ultron.
Yeah. Oh, it's Ultron. I kept thinking it was Vision. So here's Professor X.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. All right. So that's enough of that for us. So, I was going to show you something that I did as a mess around because. So.
Okay.
So this is. I put them on a what if figure.
Yeah.
This is the dude from what's his name? Wakanda. The first one. Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Yeah. So this is supposed to be what if.
What if Black
Hawkeye
Panther
was somebody?
Was Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah. So I don't have a male version of the body, right? So
that looks wrong.
Yeah, but I love the head on it. So, but
yeah,
look, it's like set up to be like that, even the hair. But yeah, that's for the joke thing. So I just had that. But like this one looks so natural, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
I like that one. I think that's a White Widow.
Yeah. Oh, Black Widow.
Black Widow.
But with a different head. So
yeah.
I love that, man. I think but this one here, I got the right head for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this came in, so this was able to complete this figure perfectly. So now I have 3 figures I was able to complete perfectly, right? One is like one that I could create original character around. Also this one, I'm missing hands, so I got to remove hands and put it there. But this one, I love this one. I think this looks really cool, and this like Han Solo thing,
right?
And because the figure is really cool, right? There's so much happening with the actual quality of this design,
right?
You got like the elbow, you got the wrist, you got the shoulder, you got the but the only difference here is the pins. They've gotten rid of pins on the new ones. You were talking about that previously
Pinless.
about how, the pinless thing. So
So here's the last figure I picked up yesterday. I picked up this figure last night, and this is one of my. I really like this character. They never did enough with this character in DC in Marvel, but I really liked it. I thought it was just a really cool looking figure. Yeah.
Who is that?
It's called the Rose. And he is
That's a pretty. How big is that figure? Is that a 6-inch or 7-inch?
6-inch.
So it's the same size as that.
Yeah.
So
He's named the Rose. He comes from the Marvel retro Marvel Legends line, Spider-Man line. Yep, and he's a
yeah, 6-inch. Yeah.
he's the son of Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin.
Right. So the Rose, because I've read the story with Fisk with his child. That storyline, I think the Punisher, but I've never seen him as an older one. So yeah, is it a good story?
I thought it was when I was a kid. I thought it was but he was working against Wilson Fisk and against against Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He was going against both of them at the same time, and he was at one point he was the head of Hydra. I mean, he had but it was just a really. It's where Marvel kind of just missed the boat on, developing that character a little bit better than they did.
They've done that a lot, haven't they? They've really, and then and then to fix stuff like that, what they do is they just like gender change them.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we'll do that with it. Now, so I was just gonna look up Rose Marvel. No, it's not gonna come up. So let me see if we've got Wilson Fix.
Yeah.
Because Kingpin. All right. So fictional character. Where's his Magia? No, Magia. Second marriage. Would his son be in the first marriage or second marriage?
It would be
is that Richard? Is his son's name Richard?
Richard Fisk.
Right. So his mother his mother is Stella Ferris.
Wait a second, that may not be right. Hold on.
Or would it be the first time? I mean, first son.
Yeah, it's Richard Fisk.
Right. So he that's a second marriage, which was Ferris. So I'm looking at like the IMDb setup.
Vanessa.
Sorry?
It's Vanessa.
Oh.
This is mom. This is mom.
Oh, so it's not that one. So let me just do a quick check here. Vanessa. Yeah, that's his first wife, right? So this is Vanessa, just so we get I can show you guys here. Let me give you a quick check. So what we're talking about, and yeah, so this is a son that I know of. What are you doing? Not for sale. I'm not trying to buy anything. There we go. That's her there.
Yeah.
And so what is there about her history? Character biography, son. All right, let's see. Son. How many sons do you have?
You just had it up there a minute ago.
Oh yeah, it's Richard. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, at one point their son Richard. So it's weird. They like before they said it was what's the name? Ferris, right? Stella Ferris. So
yeah.
It's like so they've messed with their history line as well. So like if it's whose son is he now? Is it like the first marriage or second marriage?
Yeah, it's just kind of it's weird. But yeah, I mean he was yeah, I always liked him. I thought he was a really cool figure or a really cool character.
Yeah, he was
kind of playing both sides, and and the idea of my villains liking, it's really scary when you have a villain that likes something that's pure. It's disturbing, right? When you watch a Clockwork Orange and they're drinking milk, that's disturbing because milk is pure. It's supposed to be wholesome, and they're just degenerates. When loves roses, and likes to, take care of roses. That's something that's kind of pure and natural and shouldn't be tainted, but he's also a vicious killer,
Yeah.
And And anytime I have a villain that's against Spider-Man, I think he's a much stronger villain than most others.
Yeah,
You know, he is a
yeah.
very power. They're usually very powerful villains.
And they've had a lot of time to flesh them out, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, I mean, you're looking at the original sort of Marvel character, you know, 60 odd years, and or well, one of the originals, and was it 80 years? It's like 60 years, isn't it?
60 years.
Yeah. So I mean, I've got so many. Oh, I should show you this. As part of a, I don't think I've shown you this, but as part of a bulk buy a little while ago, I got this.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, I wanted these ones. Like I remember them, the comic when this came out in it. I really loved it. I liked the design, and I was like, why would he need that? And then you realize that he's got to go up against someone with 8 arms, right? Was it not 8 arms or 4 arms? What's his name? Octopus,
Ock.
right? Doc Ock, right? And how he's going to fight. Now,
but that's the thing. That's the thing, man.
Yeah.
That's a very new thing for Spider-Man to have that tech.
Yeah,
I like Spider-Man low tech.
Yeah,
where he makes
that's what really got. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
His own webs, and there's a comic book where he fights the entire X-Men line, all of the X-Men.
Yeah.
It's in the Secret Wars number 3. Secret Wars number 3 in 1983, the issue number 3 of Secret Wars.
I think I might have that somewhere.
I think it's issue 3. But anyway, he's kind of spying on the X-Men because they're on Battle Planet, right? And he's spying on the X-Men. And the X-Men find him and try to stop him. He shuts down Wolverine, he shuts down Cyclops. I mean, he just you know, and he's just trying to escape, you know. He's not really trying hard.
Yeah.
And the only way that they stopped him from really doing anything is Professor X erased his memory from what he saw.
Yeah.
You know, that was it. But they were like, man, this guy is, what is this guy? He's really kind of kicking our butts, you know?
Yeah.
So I always think Spider-Man is a top tier character.
Yeah, and to see him and to see him as a sidekick to Iron Man, that didn't gel well with me.
Mm-hmm.
And because, like I said, like, I mean, when I got back into comics, it was JMS, right? And like after having lost my first one in a fire, I Spider-Man was probably the first thing that I actually went, I want to, you know, I actually created, like, I think we talked about this, but a piece of wood back when I saw the movie. That was my first time I was actually went and made something to do with a character. A piece of wood with a nail, like a 6-inch nail bent over, not 6-inch, 4-inch nail bent over. And that was it. Like this is a piece of wood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a nail bent over that way, so I could press down on it like that as a Spidey shooter.
Right.
You know, web spinner, whatever you want to call it.
Web shooter,
whatever it's called, I should say. You know, and that was the first time I actually did that, and I was like probably about 8 years old. And so I think when I saw this, I was like, I wasn't too thinking about it. I was like, whatever. But because if you got a character who doesn't need that for decades, and then you want to go, you're gonna be better if you have this, and it's like, okay, no. But I think that was a mistake by making him a sidekick. That's why I love the Sony movies more than I love him in like I guess appearing as a sidekick to Iron Man, you know. But awesome, man. So thank you for another awesome show, and thank you for joining me again. I love our toys, and it was interesting. It was great to have Hawk along for the first hour talking about that side of things. But